So this is the second inversion, this is the first inversion, and this is the first position or the root position. Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be demonstrating how the same key can appear in both the beginning, the middle, or the end. Let's simplify it here. The C triad, the triad of C is C, E, and G. You remember in our previous lessons, we made mention to this. C, D, E, F, then G, A, B, C. And getting the triad is the first key, third key, and fifth key. Where this C is the major key. Now, this is the position first, third, and fifth. Now, it is not always that you will see C being the first, or E being the third, and then G being the fifth. What do we mean by this? Let's demonstrate this with a diagram. Now, this is C. Instead of putting it horizontal, let's put it vertical. C, E, and G. When we have C, we continue with C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. C is the first. E is the third, as we have here. And G is the fifth. Now, this is the E here. So, E goes with F, continues with F, G, A, B, C, D, E. If you look at this arrangement, E here is the first, because our combination is C, E, and D. In the arrangement where C is the root, now C here is the root, because we are doing it on the key of C, where C is the root, and E is the third, and G is the fifth. Here, E is not our root key, because E is just one of the keys that form the triad of C. So E, G, and C. In this case, C is, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay. Now, E is the first now here. G becomes the third. And C, which is the principal key, becomes the sixth. Since we still have our C, E, and G, it means it's still the triad of C major. For the fact that it is in different position does not change it. It's still the C major. Okay. Now let's try this again. It will become clearer as we continue. Just be patient. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. What are we looking for? Oops. We are looking for C, E, and G. Okay. Here our C was here and E and G was here. First, third, and fifth. Now we are looking for C, E, and G. So C, E, and G. But the position is E is first, G is third, and the C, which is the principal key, is now the sixth. It's in the sixth position. Now we are starting our scaling from G. When we start our scaling from G, G now becomes the first, which is part of the triad, and then C becomes the middle, which is the fourth, and then our E forms the sixth position on if we are studying the scaling on G. So it is not always that this C starts from the beginning. As you can see, it changes position. So here it was first, third, and C, E, and G. In the keyboard is clearer. That's why we're taking time to explain when it comes to the guitar. And here we see that C is in the middle, but we are starting from G. So E, you can see here, has moved. So in essence, or technically, this is called the first position. That is when C is in the middle, or it is called the root position. So either first position or the root position when C is in the beginning of the of the triad. And this C moves. It does not always stay in one place. It moves. So we are playing on the key of C major. Therefore, C is our root. C is our first position because it's occupying the first position. Now, if you see here, there's an inversion. C has moved from the first position to the sixth position. It has moved to the sixth position. So it means C has been inverted. So this is our now first inversion. So this is now our first inversion, where C has moved from being the root to, like, the back. It has taken the back position. And G has moved from being the fifth to the third position. And E has moved from the third position to the first position. Here is still the key of C major, but C now is in the middle. So we can either call it middle position, or it is called the middle C, or the second inversion. So this is the second inversion, this is the first inversion, and this is the first position or the root position. Now, let's put it in a different position. Let's bring them out so that they look neater. So this is the first position or the root position. And this is how it appears. We have starting from C, E, and G. Do, do, mi, so, So this is the root position because C major is our key. C, E, G, where C is do, E is me, F is so, do, mi, so, the root. The same thing. Do, si, mi, so is the open key here. See, we are not touching the string. So it's do, mi, open. Do, mi, so is open. So that's exactly the thing. We are also doing do, mi, so here. But let's keep to this so that we only stay on the first three frets. We'll stay only on the first three frets. So do, mi, so, open. So the inversion, first inversion is mi, so, do. Mi, so, do. E, G, C. And the first key always takes the bass or the bass, as some might call it. So in this case, E, the open E now, becomes our bass. So the open E, it becomes the mi, so, do. Mi, so, do. So where the E is the bass. So it's mi, so, do. How do we play this on the guitar? So the first is open. Mi, so, do, mi, so, do, mi, so, do. It's still the same thing. It's still, but now the E is the bass. The first one, C was the bass. So that's why we had now E is the bass. This lesson demands a lot of, because if you get this one is the foundation. I know it's in the foundation that a lot of bags of cement go. This foundation, if it is very clear, soloing, African music and all this will not be an issue to you at all. It will not be an issue. So just bear in mind, we are not for entertainment. This is serious tutorial classes. Serious but fun, isn't it? Don't worry, you will get it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Okay? Do, mi, so, do, mi, which is open. So for this is mi, so, do. Okay? Then our third position is called the inversion. Is the middle position or the second inversion, and it starts with so, do, mi, G, C, and E. G, C, and E. These first ones contain the bass or the bass. So these are the bass. So when you are playing this position, C becomes the bass. When you are playing this position, E becomes the bass. When you are playing in this position, the second inversion, G becomes the bass, but the combination is still the same. The combination is still C, E, and G, but in different positions. C, E, and G. C, E, and G. C, E, and G. Here, C is in the root. Here, C is in the last position. And then here, C is in the middle. So, middle, the last. So now let's look at this on the fretboard, how it appears on the fretboard. This is how it appears on the fretboard. And don't forget, we are only using the first 3 frets. The first 3 frets. So the G will become the open G. We want to exhaust everything. G becomes the open G, which is the bass, which is the bass, which is the bass, which is the bass. Okay, G becomes this, the open G, and then our C is here because this is B. So no B sharp, we go direct to C. And then our E is the open E. So we basically have open G, C, and open E. Open G, C, and open E. Open G, C, and open E. So open C, no, sorry, open G, this is the open G, C, and open G. So this becomes the open G, which is our bass in this position. Then C is here, and then the open E. Open G, C, E. So now let's combine the first position, that's the root position, the first inversion, and the second inversion. Okay, now the first inversion, we have our C here, C, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So, where this is the open. Do, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So. So this is our first position. Okay, our second position is Mi, So, Do, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So, Do. Where our Mi, which is the E, is the bass. Yeah, this is the open, the bass. So, Do. And then our third position is the So. That's the open G. So, and then our Do is in the middle. And then our E is in the last, the open, but the sharp. You will see that from the combination of this, the first position, which is in the middle here, the second, the root position, which is in the middle here, because our C happens to be in the middle here. Then our first inversion, which is towards the bass, starting with E, the open E, and then our second inversion, which is towards the higher key, starting with G, C, and E. Once we combine the three positions now, we go first. Now let's simplify it by putting them in a row, and that will constitute our second class, so that we deepen this introductory class. Once we get this, you have gotten what it means to solo, because you will have mastered the whole keys. Once we do that, after this first stress of the first three fret, is the same system you are still going to use. You see, once we do this, you'll be able to play this automatically. But it's not always good for a teacher to say this one is difficult. But why the teacher will tell you this one is complicated is so that you can ask questions, because the teacher knows that it is complicated, but it's not difficult. So please ask questions so that we clarify this one. Then we'll move. Thank you. And please do not forget to subscribe, and see you in the next class, where we are now going to put the whole of this together. We'll put them together. So see you in the next class. Please do not forget to subscribe. And I remain your favorite guide, Kesiki.